나들이 저기 제르무치기 상유 줌nen디기 송시비기 엔데 이제 송럽델이야 퇴섬 곰숨지 도제요드 안델라테네 상유 줌nen디 세디 아니 지금 고고고려 찬나 베제 상베기 gem바제 고로여봐 안데 지금 이제 구이 연대 다 안데 송구 연대 안 송사지 송디 최리길에 배 송년바 안 시지 누버여바 대신 상지 송시비 최리 년는 제바이나 당아도 탈바다 탐지 김벽고 보나 톱투고여바 내게 상지 송 대상이 좀 된디게 투기 안 지게 연대 대체 간시네 원숨도 세대 뒤숨다 마음바다 다다와단 대바다 감당 뭐봐 지다 신도시 시기체 상이야 안 되셔야 안 최송아레스 제가 되는 송아도 되니 되니게 상지 구송 투송기 연된디게 제 안도 제용도 안에 지게 소설야 지 가와게 당 안에 상이야 지수이라다 대바쇼 총야다 안에 안델라데네 소설하는 오다디링 지게 상이 좀 낸디기 송을야 퇴섬 곰숨 제라와 배마서 야고레 세단 가와당 보보게야 낸 전례디게다 딩 상이게 송샤베 냠는 나신지 이 수신도 지기 제제는 상요고화 토바 지긴 셈비게 안야 전주 해봐면 봐대 용 중국도 세제 어디 걸마 가서 디시로
네, 그 성인이 공 상기기 투기연된 대공 두숨기 여파참마
두숨기 캠바 감나 뭐봐 삼바지다와 주는 켄도 송바레서 지루하다.
So this morning, we in the preceding verses, we looked at how Geshe Rinpoche he was reflecting on the qualities of the Buddha, and he did so through having come to having studied and reflected and meditated intensely on the Buddha's teachings. He came to see that the Buddha himself, when he was an ordinary being, it was through receiving the same teachings, reflecting on those same teachings, and meditating on those same topics, that he attained, he arose as a Buddha, he became enlightened, and thereby attained the qualities of a Buddha's body, a Buddha's speech, and a Buddha's mind. And we heard reference to the qualities of the Buddha's body, including the marks and signs of a Buddha's body. Moreover, there was reference to the qualities of a Buddha's speech, in particular the eloquence and also the unique power of a Buddha's speech. And also there was reference to the mental qualities of a Buddha. For example, that the Buddha knows directly all phenomena at all times. He knows the past, the present, and the future. And also with his omniscience, he knows the individual personalities of all beings. So this coming, all this coming to mind for Geshe Rinpoche causes great joy in his mind to arise. And moreover, it leads to great strength of mind. And the strength of mind comes about through his understanding of dependent arising, in that through himself, Geshe Rinpoche himself, continuing to make great endeavors in hearing teachings, reflecting and meditating on them, he, just like Buddha Shakyamuni, will also achieve the ultimate result, the result of enlightenment. And thereby, with this great strength of mind, he made and he set out with ever greater endeavor in the accomplishment of virtue.
탑기 람 안직del이야 아니 기후 중원의 정당 아니 첨비기 첨벌이야 감당 매바 삼발라 바비기 최다 주다 소소다 되니기 최 지금 송여로다 감당 매발에 되네 제가 되니기 사실 송셰비기다 대타바 첨비기 최 냠는 제들이야 안 자주sem다 잠니제 안 자주셈 파신 주기 냠는 동요도 배다와 어두 고미하게 배 마세기 최 야부 아니 지금 소수기 냠는 제가 이나 나 산지고고 교고 톱투에게 탑람시우電車が지레에서 그러다 산지 송이 송디
Moreover, this morning we looked at how everything the Buddha taught was taught motivated so that beings could attain liberation from suffering, so that beings could generate within themselves the mental paths of liberation. And he taught in accordance with the varying dispositions and inclinations of beings, and therefore his teachings can be divided in accordance with the three differing capacities of beings. Moreover, he also taught the Mahayana Dharma, where he emphasized the cultivation of love and compassion leading to the generation of bodhicitta, as well as the wisdom realizing emptiness. So therefore, knowing how the Buddha has taught the complete and unmistaken path to enlightenment, and he taught it in accordance with the capacities of beings, we can have confidence that through training in these skillful methods, we will quickly attain the ultimate result, the result of enlightenment.
ane chik chöki donda chasa hamuwa che mangbo ane chik ma chik xie tang ma chikpa tang ten chu tu kiro mangbo yo res dine zang ane dine ki ma chik tayo du ane den ya lo de yi xiro che ma yongwa che ane zo ane jerim chiki nyamlen lobsang che di ane chike kyagar ke kebi shung ane kombo lujib la sokpa tang dawa chakpa la sobe shung ma papa thome la sobe song shebe shung ki gongpa tsu jeshe ki ya jewa liya zowa jine ane lobchang jeba yinsa je dikor ma shuya re.
We'll continue with the text, and here that we come to a part where Geshe Rinpoche, now having praised the teachings as being wondrous, he now expresses that because with the Buddha having taught in accordance with the varying personalities of beings, some beings then reading the teachings of the Buddha or receiving teachings of the Buddha Dharma became confused by the differing presentations. So many followers of the Buddha, especially at that time, were quite confused about the correct understanding of the teachings of the Buddha Dharma. In fact, they'd mixed up the varying different tenets, philosophical tenets, and therefore had come to a mistaken understanding. So Geshe Rinpoche struggled to develop trust in some of the teachings that he was receiving. So he referred back to the Indian masters, to the commentaries that Indian masters had composed, masters such as Nagarjuna and Chantakirti and Asanga. Now the 46th verse. Whilst this excellent system is marvelous, those people who are not learned in it, in every respect entangled themselves, just like plaited belbazar grass.
And the Dharmedu Chunwa said, Tisungora, that the Dharmedu Chunwa said, Sanye Jumnen de Sung Shabi Chedi, down him, Chik, Masigi, Yaku Dile Yachio Mares, or Dasan Jumnen de Sung Chedi, Mano, Machuba, and Lam Chasa, Chikten de Be, Masigi Yaku Shes.
The first line then, in this first line, Geshe Rinpoche then is stating very clearly that the Buddha, there's nothing greater, there's nothing more marvelous than the Buddha Dharma itself, because the Buddha Dharma and the Buddha Dharma alone shows the complete and unmistaken path to liberation from suffering, the complete and unmistaken path to enlightenment.
Yinbigi Gimzen Karalabna, Penasan Jumnen, you choose the Penetonga, Nida, Janshu, Sem Yukodi, Semjan Chazala, Jigo Shavana, and the Kashiki go to Marwa, the Tony 동요 도야다 제바제야다 되네 자주 셈다 니제고 냠len제 마튼 건설이야 차살에 집어 송샤바나 하는 건설이야 디기에 배주셔라 당 두고 말데 제 판도시라 연구 말와 매완자 한산유 좀낸 디기 되니게 냠len제 투건 졸이야 아니 지 누버 예간 졸이야 네 자주 셈 냠len제다 파주주 냠len제다 동요 그 냠len제와 디송 난 딜에 또 뭔번 교와 되니게 냠len제 마두겐 다음에 비고 냠len제제다 자주 셈 냠len제 마두 바이나 동요도 배 따와 냠len제다 아니 진보 수준 세버 전주게 냠len제 투건 졸이야 아니 지금 아니 라자다 년뒤 남지고마 남샤송 하는 건조 냠len제제 탈바토에바 송 아니야 디소야 베네다 다음에 배다와다 니니 토래야 아니 지게 냠len제 마투건 소리야 아니 기부 추미어 남이링바 계와 침바 하나 미고 바도베 탑람 되니 진바다 수tim다 쇠바다 아니 전주게 냠len 몰람 되니고 거야 송야다 아니 건주스면 잠로제야다 어두 거제 아니 지게 송메 간사 코라 원보를 참비기 아니야 소소 냠len제 송체 지상 두진의 진 냠len제는 진 rinpa chuwa de nyamlenje yabo shindu dene rinpa gangma le nyamlenje yada dene diya yabo shindu dene rinpa gangma le ya odus nyamlenje yade rinpa pe masam chik rinpa re chik chine yabo shu song wa re che chisa yade drupte nana tawam chik de kamdam meba dama re ya ane kashi le chik drumte tohne chik chiro dundu drupa yore se yada kashi le denpa drupa yore se yada on chik kashi le dati dene denpa drupa yore ma re se chisa soso le wongbo chenpegi 따위 남샤 송제 대라 념도 다되네 따위 남샤데 답변에 덴바두바 요레세하다 치르던도 두바 요레세하다 아니 덴바두바 요마세 따위 남샤 카가 송와레데 이네 냠는 제이들이야 진보 수름 쇠비 냠는 제 차상 지과 차상을 수름 냠는 제과 지과 아니 쇠바 냠는 제 진비 냠는 제 준비 좀 거. 어두세네 냠는 제 림바 되니게 차상을 참배 송하자 매도 중화세 량시 매도 중화 빼마세 야고 지사 근데日本 nom부 디길래 덴지게 남샹아서 최탐제 라신 마두바레 디 마두바인자 덴진 저와 중화레 최탐제 랑고 뭐네 마두바 이나야 매바 말에 파르파 다바 좀 요래 세데 어두 소에데 다 데니게 소에데다 데니게 소에게 최디 상지게 마도 상요 좀내지 송마도 현가야메 술래 덴바 강기 현다 덴바 강기 송요 말레스 내가 상요 좀내지 송에게 최디 미도 중화레서 약쇼들에서 해야 괜찮지다.
The first line refers then to how marvelous the Buddha Dharma, or this excellent system, is. So why is this being specifically mentioned? Why is the Buddha Dharma said to be marvelous? Why is it said that there's nothing greater than the Buddha Dharma? Well, the Buddha is being praised here by Geshe Rinpoche because the way, not just what the Buddha taught, but also the way the Buddha taught. Because as we've heard, the Buddha taught in accordance with the varying personalities of beings. And therefore there were the three wheel turnings, he taught the sutras and the tantras, and they taught some differences. And this was because there's a wide variety of predispositions amongst beings. So for those who it's usually expressed as of being of greatest intelligence or sharpest faculty. But another way to express it perhaps is that for those who could accept that phenomena lack inherent existence completely, he taught to them the wisdom realizing emptiness. And for those who could also accept bodhicitta, bodhicitta and the six perfections, he taught this to them. So to some beings, he taught the complete path to enlightenment, the practices of the wisdom realizing emptiness, bodhicitta, and the six perfections. But to those who would not be able to accept such teachings, who would be repelled by such teachings, he rather taught selflessness, the view of selflessness, and that a liberation from samsara, from cyclic existence, is possible. But he didn't go on to talk about bodhicitta and the six perfections. But for others to whom hearing such teachings would have been difficult for them to relate to such teachings and perhaps would have rejected such teachings, the Buddha just taught about how to achieve a good rebirth in their very next life, how to not fall into the low realms in the next life. So he taught the practice of ethical conduct, generosity, patience, joyous perseverance, and the need for stainless prayers. So we can see here that the Buddha gave different teachings to different audiences in accordance with their own predispositions and inclinations. And moreover, though, because he also guided beings through these varying stages. So as beings were first started to accept one level of teaching, as they trained and gathered faith and skill, they would later be exposed to a higher level of teaching. And in this way, they could progressively train in the varying stages of the path. And so, and if we summarize the differences, we can say in the terms of the view, there was great difference here. To some students, the Buddha taught that phenomena exist truly. To some, he taught external phenomena do exist in the way that they appear. To others, he taught no phenomena exist truly. Phenomena lack inherent existence, lack true existence. So, in terms of view, there is quite some variety in the teachings of the Buddha. But whomever the Buddha was teaching, he always taught ethics, generosity, patience, and joyous perseverance. In other words, he taught how to accumulate merit, because it's through the accumulation of merit, in particular these four practices, that good rebirths are attained, and that one develops, and on the basis of greater merit, one will be able to develop subtler understandings of the Buddha Dharma. So in terms of the method side of practice, there was not great difference. But in terms of the view side of practice, there was variety in what the Buddha taught. And this, though, and this is a unique characteristic of the Buddha, of how he skillfully guided beings in accordance with their own personalities, their own predispositions. And for those who were ready, the Buddha was alone in teaching the ultimate view, which is that nothing exists inherently. But that doesn't mean phenomena are non-existent. Phenomena exist as mere imputations by mind, or only as imputations by mind. And here, Buddha was alone in teaching this view, the union or the harmony of dependent arising and emptiness. And he taught that. Not only was he unique in teaching this view, but he also only taught it to those for whom were ready to receive such a teaching.
Lobsang Dorje Mikhe Sidu, Lobsang Sidu Sanye Jumnen di Song Cheki Chudbe Mase Yabu, and Gorimio Jik Demba, and Sanjo Komatawala, Lam Chasan, Yamlen Chek, Chasan Sanshawa, Jikbe, Yabu Sangu Yabu Shujires. In the Mikhe Baladu, Sanye Jumnen di Song Chebi Chugi, Namcha, Dembada, Dini Namcha, Maheba, Mashin Bache, Kunzuki Dembada, that Dente Tony Namsha, Dembani Namsha Mashinpa, and Deniki Burlia, Nima, that Deniki Jerem Mabe Kongla, and Deniki Chikburgi Delia Chuk, that Chiki Deniki Sungan Deni Debra Dina Sunga Mamujung Yura Deniki, and the Chik Deni, Sanyu Jemnendi, Sonshebi Chugi, Nesu de Jimachi Hamoa, and Sanyu Jemnendi, Dini Namsha, Sonshaba, the Dini Namsha, Tony Tawa de Yaba Hamoa chair, and Deniki Cab, Deniki Mamujua, yes, or that.
Nipola Kiba Mampo Yore, yini konsudi doda yapo chungma song dire.
Machine wa de chesa machine ba de ne mango chungwa re so.
De kosom deni de masung gong la kerang tempani dang tenjoki namsak.
Chesa tempani yin namsha ya ba ha mo wa re so chesa.
Deni
kunzo tempa da denan tempi namsha sanji song na la tenji ge namsha deni namsha song wa de chesa deni ge ne so ya ba ha mo wa mango chungwa re so.
Now looking at, so this is why the Buddha Dharma is being praised as marvelous, because of that the Buddha is alone in having taught the ultimate view, and moreover it's being praised for the way that he taught it, in accordance with the dispositions of beings. And but then we come to the second line. Well, maybe for us we'll read the two together. Whilst this excellent system is marvelous, those people who are not learned in it, maybe better to say those who are not skilled in it, or who are unskilled in it. So this refers to that in the Buddha Dharma, the Buddha taught, as we've just heard, the presentation of the view in accordance with the dispositions of beings, of the beings before him at that time. So there are, in the sutras, there are different presentations in regard to the two truths, with regard to conventional truth and ultimate truth, as well as differing presentations in terms of the meaning of dependent arising. Then in Tibet, there were many beings, many practitioners who read the Buddha Dharma, but they didn't clearly understand the presentation on the two truths, presentations on dependence arising. And they mixed up and got confused about the differing presentations and came to faulty conclusions. So this is what is being referred to, those who are not learned or those who are unskilled in it, refers to those who are unskilled in the Buddha Dharma, but in particular in relation to the view, and the view of the two truths and the dependence arising. Those who have misunderstood the ultimate meaning or the final meaning of the Buddha's presentation.
Denigi Sanyo Jumnen de Yusun Shebigi, Debani, Namshada, Dene Chasa Yaku Shinga Mango or Wada. Jida Denigi, Sanyo Jumnen de Dene Sun Shebi, Dini, Namsha de Yaku Machine Yamango Chungwada, Dene Chesa, Denigi Mango, Machimba, Denigi Nesu, Yaku Mashiva Mango Chung Shas or Wada.
So at the time, so this is really referring to at the time of Geshe Rinpoche, when he was abiding in the world. Then in Tibet there were many those who were scholars, those who had studied extensively the teachings of the Buddha, but hadn't come to understand his view well. They had a mistake or were confused in terms of the view of the Buddha.
But
we can't say that before Geshe Rinpoche came into Tibet, that there was only confusion in Tibet. And also in India, there were those who would have had mistaken understandings of the presentation of the Buddha.
Lobsang Dorje Denigi da Denigi Chige Sanji Jumnen Digi Song Shebi Deni Dembani Namsha Chasa Yakuma Hamoache and Karache Shalama Ki Baba Zashindus Lare Ki Belba Zashindus. She did Belba Zas Zash yourself, such mean these are the conditions Pajik. Page Papa to Pacha sing to the injuries, say. On Dina Shinda Bendigo Sanyo Chumnendigi, Dingi Namshadang, Lambi Namsha, Hamuan Digi, and the Jig Mango Chu Jene, and the Jig Mayimbala, Yimbala, Mayimba Ruchi, the Naji, and Jig Mangura Jig, and Baby Zanashin Part, Mangura Jig Chu Je, and Songsha Brother.
So reading on, in every respect entangled themselves just like plaited bellbuzzer grass. So this then is referring to these practitioners who are not learned or skilled in the teachings of the Buddha. And this isn't because they perhaps didn't make any effort, but rather they'd come to a mistaken understanding, mistaken conclusions. They thought they'd understood the ultimate view of the Buddha, but there was contradictions, there was lack of clarity in their understanding. So these beings then, these practitioners who have confusion in their minds, are being likened in the last line here to plaited bellbuzzer grass. So bellbuzzer grass is a grass where the blade of the grass as well as the roots are all entangled and mixed up, and they grow together in a clump. And it would be very difficult to separate the two. So what we're seeing with this analogy is that in the same way, if someone was trying to separate the blade of grass from the root and would struggle to do so because it just comes together as a clump, likewise, these practitioners who've tried to understand the correct view of reality, their minds are all confused and mixed up as opposed to what exists, what doesn't exist, how things exist, or whether anything exists at all. Their views are all mixed up and entangled as well, just like this grass.
Gyoi Baba Session, the number of the Singwar Chesa, then you can do shout, a number of the Singwar Chesa, the Nigga Sing the Banashin, Hamo and Tiki, and Beji Truch and Mangoji, Yimbada, Mayimba, Truch, and Mango Son Shahas, Rodan.
So this, so in every respect, so the view is entirely entangled or mixed up, just like this grass. So this, if you're interested, you can find it on the internet. There's pictures of it. It's called something else which I can't pronounce, Eleusine indica. Anyway, does exist in the world, and the pictures on the internet.
이내 동이 된거 주발에 순간 중국어로 동이 동이세 내가 직 제바 제제 가슴질이야 직 된바 주말 제바 가슴질라 동이 이니게 됐어 진짜 동이 고라니에도 동이 고라 하신 주발에 돼서 최 된바 마주발에 동이 된바 주발에 라칸 중으로 와서 제가 대소 동이 남샤데 약보 하모고 비게 긴로다
되니 그런 템포 주파 송핑가
제가
라신 주파 송메베
라신 주파 된바로 집어로 왔다 테니블로라 제가 라신이 마주바 된바 마주발에 이내 동이 고라 제바지도 동이 니기래 제가 동이 고라 된바 주발에서 최람 담자 라신 마주발에 동이 된바 주발에서 언데니 라칸 되는 순간 중으로 와디 대소 안 되니게 남샤데 야보 마킨베다리 마킨베 옹게 되는 순간으로 하지.
So amongst those who didn't understand the two truths correctly, there were those who accepted that phenomena were empty of inherent existence, were empty of true existence. And when they investigated and they looked for the inherently existent phenomenon, and they found it doesn't exist, it's empty of inherent existence, they then made a mistake thinking, emptiness, that is inherently existent, or that is truly existent. So they accepted that phenomena lacked true existence. But they believed that emptiness, that existed truly. So there they made their mistake, and they made this mistake because when they looked for an inherently existent object, they couldn't find it. And all that's left is emptiness. But then they accepted emptiness as existing inherently.
돌이야 롭션 치고 말해서야다. 돈냠는 지gen서 안에 나래 따요. 망아냠는 지고 지겨 말해 따겨 말해서야다. 근데 이게 내서 망고 중으로 와.
Do depa, dedu, huh? Dedu, yamanadanta. And furthermore, there are those who believe that one only needs to practice, for example, Tantra. One doesn't need to engage in the practice of the Sutra paths. So the Mahayana Dharma has these two parts of Sutra and Tantra. And there are those who believed one can attain the final goal just through practicing Tantra, no need for Sutra. But then there were also others who said, no need for Tantra, just practicing Sutra on its own is sufficient to achieve the final goal. So these are illustrations of people at the time who were not learned or were unskilled in the Buddhist teachings, thinking that instead of understanding correctly that one needs to engage in both Sutra and Tantra in practice in order to attain enlightenment, they thought only one was necessary. And there were others who misunderstood the view of emptiness.
Da jer mu chige deni yusun shebige dos chene an zide an delia an jig lo de yishiro chi juma sons ba jo za an san yu jumnen de yi gongba de an ta ta de kan sina samje yang ja an jige deni son shebige ta yo du san yu jumnen de gongba de ta ta yin na men san bege do hwa sa ge ma do an delia o de ya ko chi son sha san bege yishiro sta an lo de shi juma sons ko ra.
Seeing these contradictions in the presentations that were being taught at the time in Tibet, seeing the confusion in these presentations, Rinpoche, he had no trust or conviction in these presentations because he could see the contradiction, he could see that they hadn't come to the final intent of the Buddha.
Jerem Jango Disungor, the Labjan Gora, Labja Garandan Gora, Labna. Zan Sanyu Jumnan Digi Sun Shebi, Chue, Tipe, Masen Sabjin, Yachawa, and Pe Chike Shoji Res. Zan Dini in Zan Di, and Sanyu Jumnan Digi Chue Di, Mazugi Ma Chike Share Dan, Tepro, Tibaina, Yabu Lobsang Yabu Hakoche, and Dep Tsongkhapa, Dep Tsongkhapa, Mado, Chik Dos Ching, Yabu Hamod, and Jigma Atisha, Digi, and Mongbo Deblo Mongbo, similar, no true Mongbo Techu, order. The Nenza, Jugi, Jezan Denigi, Yahu Jibala, Sosu Dampo, Tursam Komsum, Yabu Yamlen Che or Jango, Sosu Yahu Ching Sana, Deni Yabu Gures, Sina Denigi, Yahu Chiki. Tao Chobo Hamawache, Deniji, Manzuki, Debro, G, Denichi, Sueshavina, that's an Asian baby, Zana, Sansin, Sueshavina, Deni, Digi, Lohan Mongolia, and a Chiki, no true Mongolian order.
The advice that Rinpoche is giving to us in this verse is that the Buddha Dharma that Buddha Shakyamuni taught is not only incomparable and marvelous, but is both vast and truly profound. And to come to a correct meaning, in particular a correct meaning that will have a transformative effect on one mustn't make the mistake of thinking, I can just hear a few teachings, get some general understanding, think, I've got it, and now I just need to meditate on it. One needs to study well, receive many teachings, reflecting on these over an extended period, meditating on them. In this way, one will come to the correct understanding. So one needs to, through the process of receiving many teachings and reflecting on them, one will take one's understanding to deeper levels, and the slight misunderstandings will be cleared away. Doubts will arise, and then they will be cleared away. So this is the process to follow. If one, though, receives a few teachings, thinks one has understood it, and that is sufficient in terms of one's receiving of teachings, one will have mistakes in one's view, one will be confused about the correct view, and one will end up like this bulbous grass, where everything is entangled and there's no clarity.
진주 인자 상여 줌는 되게 가르스나 버려라나 상여 줌는 요코라 나고 퇴삼 곰숨제 냠는제 아니 냠는제네 아니 냠는제네 차사 하고도 냠용이 토네 안도신마 나솔려 추송어려 와서 그래 어디 나신 알아주이네 상여 줌는 되게 취 진주체와 진주체도 상여 줌는 되게 송집에 퇴되려 당고 퇴바망고 퇴 되네 된다래 야나야도 삼당 되네 소소라란 게 냠는 곰제 되네 소소기 냠용 치려도 오다 다 쳐버려도 되네 마 지게 직티비네 안도시네 세베나 안에 반도 침부는 거래스 안 송거로
What we as followers of the Buddha, what we are being encouraged to do is to train our minds in exactly the same way as Buddha Shakyamuni did in his lifetimes prior to arising as a Buddha. He too received many teachings and continued to reflect on those teachings, eventually meditating on those teachings. And in this way, he trained his mind. In this way, he practiced. So this is how Buddha Shakyamuni trained, and then eventually when he came to correct understandings, when he then was ready to share his knowledge. And likewise, the great masters of the past, for them to compose texts in a way that was unmistaken, they too needed to receive teachings, reflect on them, and meditate on them, and do so repeatedly over an extensive period. And in this way, they were able to come to unmistaken understandings and then compose texts that were in accordance with the final intent of the Buddha.
디나는 여바이 통에도 람사들에 이시세고요. 지교 말해서 그러다 지가질에 도스진의 로아도 디네 람사 이지 마제바제 아니가 내신나디 김사 삼당 제바제 아니 야네야도 제바제다 김사 삼당하도 어디제네 디네 디송샤 디네 간스 차그레 디미 김사 가레스 바 제바제 그래서 람사 뎁디 지 베지 통에도 디나 디송샤 디레샤 선배기 이시 삼마시 제샤바이나 아니 다다 책 말해서 지다 델리아 당보랑 로 안델이야 지금 남산 오래샤스미 이치 마제바제 하는 게야 제바제 심주제 안 딱세제 오래 송걸 받아.
So what we're being advised against here is not to what you're being advised against is to think for ourselves. So for example, if we're reading a Dharma text, don't just accept what is presented in the text. Take that meaning, think about it. Is what is said there, does it make sense to me? Does it work in accordance with my own experience? What about in different circumstances? What is what's said here? Does this make sense? So in other words, we mustn't just readily accept what we read, but we must think about the meaning.
디나신리당이 딘마 셰셰게디에 다다 이민다에 된제요마당이 셰셰게디 다다 인다마이 안지게 경중 데블로야당 아직 라마의 계시찬다서 송셰게 된이야 지게 터바제야다 언도시네 심주셰고 얼마다 땡이 셰셰바 람사오데 이시체야스카요 말에 지바레다 디나죠.
And this isn't the case only for text, it's the same for receiving teachings. So I'm sharing my knowledge of the Buddha Dharma, and you must hear this and reflect on its meaning and think for yourself, does this make sense or not? And you should receive teachings from others as well and hear what they have to say. And think for yourself and analyze and see if it makes sense, if it seems to be correct or not. So this is important. We need to develop our way of thinking, use our wisdom, use our intelligence, and analyze and investigate. Don't just accept what is said based on a name or a reputation.
아니 지금 로 되바로 막행 바체 이제 맞게 바체 되네 아니 가르쳐 버려야네 다 자숑이야 안 제바체 인세데 두스티 손야래 다딘마 쉬야래.
And so this is exactly what Rinpoche himself did. He received teachings, he thought about the meaning, and when trust didn't come or conviction in those teachings didn't arise, he investigated further, sought a correct and unmistaken understanding elsewhere.
That signifies Tsui Tone Dagini Beba Dumi Keba Yi Jesu Jani Kigini Gomba Yane Yadu Zazor.
This is now the 47th verse. Upon seeing the situation, I diligently and continuously studied the words of scholars, repeatedly seeking your true intent.
That's who the Tone Dagini, so the Tsui Tone, so that nearly and Dustene. 지게 상유 점단의 송셰비 추기 내수디게 야보 하모고 마케마체 딩이 남샤 야보 하모고 데니게 송셰교디게 두 제대 심주시 마 통용도 오다디데 단단한 인사 말에 삼제 아무지 이체를 마중 안에 로테와 마중제 데니게 가르쳐 버려라나 안에 로디 가서 로디 이체를 주마소스 마중와자 가르쳐 버는 데니 베바 두메 케바이 제수 장네 시드 라 상유 베바 베준주 챔피언 안에 베주 챔피언 안에 아니 가르쳐 봐인라나 아니 상유 점된디 공부 타도 케바 남기 케바 공부 루루블라서 바다 알로바 아야 대와다 로벤 상예 장라서 바다 아니 다와다바 아니 바바 토메라서 코로나족이 공부마 제세비기 다 공부집이 공대기 흉 나로바 되니기 달야 직배 배주의 첨부체네 안에까지 심죽체네 롭션 제바 인식으로 받아.
Look, in the first two lines, upon seeing the situation, I diligently and continuously studied. So here, Rinpoche is saying that coming to see that many teachers in Tibet at that time, they hadn't come to a correct understanding, or they had come to an understanding that was confused and contradictory. Coming to see this situation well, what did he do? He engaged in intensive study of the various commentaries to the Buddha's teachings, written by the great Indian masters such as Nagarjuna and Chandrakirti and Bhavavaveka. And he did so over a lengthy period of time and with great effort. He certainly didn't do it half-heartedly, but he strove to try and come to the ultimate meaning or the final meaning of the Buddha Dharma.
Keba dume, ane kasa beba dume keba yi jesu zhane kyugini. Kyugini siri kyugi siri da sanyu jimnene kyurang songshe bigi chudi yu gongpa se ora. Kyugini gongpa yane yadu zay siri sanyu jimnene yu songshe bigi tardu gongpa de karre sha samje tardu gongpa da 동이게 다와 우메 다와디 간르셰샤 삼지 된마 야네 야도 안데 지게 냐 가서래 퇴삼 냠네 제바 인송거로와
데니 에티강 숨파
시제 시바데 공부야네 제수 장내에서도 공부 대시 쉬사라와디 제수상세 다 kyugini 공부야네 야도 세시도 상이 점된디게 송샤비기 데니 남샤다 우메 다비게 덴징 저와 저 송샤비 덴징 저와 타도게 디가르샤 삼제 야네 야도 하네 배수체의 존재 챔피언 퇴섬 검숨 제바 인식으로
He studied the works of scholars, repeatedly seeking your true intent. So here, this is Rinpoche showing how he came to the correct understanding of the middle way view, in that when he found that those teachers that he had met in Tibet did not possess the correct understanding, he sought out the correct view from the great scholars from India. And he did so repeatedly over a sustained period, studying and reflecting on these great commentaries. And in this way, he came to understand the middle way view.
답변에 잠니제다 자주샘다 진바도 출연 쇠바 전주 아니 냠는 디게다 데레데 이나 디나도 저거도 우메다오게 돈이 남샤데래. 돈이 동반이 남샤데.
And where we see here the true intent. So this is referring specifically to the presentation on reality, on emptiness. So it's really referring to striving here repeatedly to understand the middle way view. That's primarily what he's engaging, not primarily engaging in coming to understand the cultivation of love and compassion and the generation of bodhicitta, but primarily the cultivation of the middle way view.
지사 우미기 따위 고텔이네 베네 상유 준된디게 도나로 송기디에 아니 도 가신 나는에 최담제 하신 주바리 소야다 아니 가신 나는 최담제 하신 마주바리 소야다 아니 도 가신 나리아 아니 치료된 주바 요래서 소야다 도 가신 나래 친도 치료된 요 말에 소야다 데니기 아니 지금 두시 감나 몇발에 튠비터네 취송샤기디 망고로 와다 명모자 람사 도지로베네 아주 도지로바나 어다디 가래 이치체와데 아주기 세부시하고 투마로와 그래서는 어디 잠가블레 돈 라지도 요래 손시다 라지도 요마서 디에 가기 덴바레스 비게 삼로 용그로와
If one reads the sutras of the Buddha or commentaries to them, we'll see that in some he says that phenomena exist inherently, they have their own nature by which they exist. But then in others, the Buddha taught no phenomenon exists inherently at all. So it appears contradictory. Or in some teachings, he taught that phenomena are externally established, external phenomena exist, and in others he taught that phenomena are not externally established. So there are clear contradictions in terms of the view and how it's presented. So this is because the Buddha taught in accordance with the individual disposition and inclination of those before him at the time. So therefore, because of these apparent contradictions, it's difficult to understand quickly what is the correct view.
인장 나 자가르게 개바 내로베 상제 장다 번난 다와다 발라서 고주기特别 10대 참어 시디 어 최담제 라신 주바를 송아디 데네치로 고네 송고레스 아니 나네 안 최담제 라신 마주바세 데네시레 이사 세 최담제 아니 지게 라신 주바레 세데 송야디 베네 두샤 감나메바 데네치를 송고레 데네 우마 텐주비글루게 따와디 디레 우마 라기베 따와디레 세 리야와치네 세부시네 송샤바인자 데니기 세부치네 사예 좀nen디 공발이야 퇴섬 곰숨 제데 냠렌낭 데니기 냠렌 소수게 제바체네 타친파 공바제네 어디 난 우마 셈셈베 따와디네세 킬링에 데네싱고라 다 랑기베 따와디레 근데 우마 텐주비게 따와디레선 파케바 예와치네 송샤 세부 송샤게데 대변은 따와다바다 그베 산제 장라서 흉근날 송여로와 데니기 흉들이야 제르미치기 야네야도 최선 배제 제바인스 제가 데니기 배제시데 텔라 데네 산제 좀nen디 공바디 제바 타르도기 우메게 따와디 아니 제바 제당 흉디솔레 다시는 제바 인송으로 와.
And the way then that Geshe Rinpoche came to understand the Buddha's intent, and the way he came to understand the middle way view, was through relying primarily on Geshe Rinpoche read the commentaries written by a vast array of Indian masters, and he came to see that the presentation of Buddha Palita and Chandrakirti, that they were able to clearly present the middle way view. It was Buddha Palita and Chandrakirti who taught that phenomena do not exist inherently, but are mere imputations by mind. And it was through the presentation of these two great Indian masters who were clearly making clear the difference between the two sub-schools of the middle way view, the sub-school of the autonomist, the Svatantika, and the consequentialist, the Prasangika. It was these two Indian masters who made clear the distinction between the two sub-schools of the Middle Way school, that Geshe Rinpoche was able to come to an understanding of the Buddha's intent. And it was through studying these texts that he was also able to understand that in other teachings from the Buddha, at some points Buddha was teaching from the point of view of the mind-only school, the Chittamatrans, in others from the Svatrantikas view, and in others from the Prasangika view. So this is how Geshe Rinpoche came to understand the Buddha's intent.
di zadang nganzu ki gongpa yang ne zai ku gongpa thadu ume tawa se di che tamche rangshin majuba che tamche rangshin majuba yin yang che tamche ane pa lue pa dopi da lue pa xia pa zam yu pa se di ane di gongpa thadu di gongpa di rwa zizan di uma tanju bi ki tawa thadu che tamche rangshin majuba re di yin yang ane rangshin dakshin jebe chana ngwa rangshin majuba 이내야 뢰파 샤바 좀 여봐 마다 마제베스나 뢰파 샤바 좀 여봐야 돼서 그래서 라신 마주바당 아니 여봐 니가 샤투로레스 디오마비게 오마 텐주비게 타두게 따와디레서
Geshe Rinpoche then came to understand the Buddha's true intent, the final view, which is that all phenomena lack inherent existence. No phenomenon exists inherently, but it's merely imputed by mind. And this is the final view. It's the final, ultimate view of the Prasangika. So here what Geshe Rinpoche came to realize is that when one investigates, searches for a phenomenon to see if it exists in the way that it appears, one comes to see it's empty of existing in the way that it appears. But if one doesn't investigate, the phenomenon is there. And this shows that it does still exist. And how? Just as an imputation by mind. And this then is the final view, the ultimate view of the Prasangika.
Dini tawa da uma tenyu bigi tawa sangye jumlen di sonshe bigi tianjin zhewa junwe namsha ki tawa tartu di tire so tawa tartu pa di tire shas chisada bene yaji go semzamba da uma rangyu bala so bigi tianji namsha samda che tawa shi keling go wa da deso tawa tartu sangye jumlen di sonshe bigi kongba tartu pa di mares bene semzambe na karsone che tamje tembo jubare karasene 电前这个巨大这个是巨大建了对的几个嘞，其实让心里毛主白那巨大建了对的几头嘛的，其实巨大建了对的结果因着让心主白的，现在光是让心主白开灵过了，其实当然甚至
dann ist im Sampagikola zum
Beispiel. Sampagikola sind schön, haben sie Rasin drüber regeln oder Tempo drüber ist. Tempo drüber, wie Gümsen gerade so ist, ne? Jebu die Güter gehen le den Gege du hast. Güter gehen le den Gewa in sa, ne Tempo drüber ist. Das ist Tempo mal drüber gehen mal ist. Konjugi Dianjing, Jewa Jungwa, Gündige Dianjige Samdaji Dele ja Rasin drüber regeln oder. Das ist da sind wir da die 치료 돈도 마주바 따와데 지사디 안산에 점된데 유송체비 공부 타도데 말레스 따와 타도 체가 말레스 디나시 우마라주바이나 최탐제 덴바 마주바레 라고마도 최탐제 라시 마주바라고 마 최탐제 라시 주바레라고 다 건주기 우마라주바게 덴바 주바다 라신 주바니디 가가바 체체 최탐제 간이나 라신 코라 랑고문이 주되지 요레스 아니 랑고문이 주바다 뢰파 따바니가레서 니가 차고레스 지금 데니 자다네 최탐제 뢰파 따바 많이 맞아 랑원의 줍되버져 자기는 요 말레스 인디 안에 따와 타도 그래야지 안에 랑규비디 공부지 거로와 지금 디 따와 타도 랑규비시에게 따와디야 안상이 좀 내는 요소에 공부 타도 따와 타도도 말레스
도들랍나 디 랑규바 콘소 Yopa Tsama Konso Tempa Matro Pare, in Rangsingi Dopare, Gyutsungo. Gyutsungo.
Chisada Sanyo Jimmen di Yukongba, Tardo Tawana, Tawi Namja Umin, Tawa Tardo de Garelana, Uma Tanjubu Sonya Che, Tamja, Rangsin Majuba, Rangsin Majuba Inayang, Lue Pa Tope, Lue Pa Shazam Yoba de Sachi.
So Geshe Rinpoche came to understand the final intent of the Buddha, which is the Prasangika view. And the final view of the Prasangika then is this view which is the harmony of emptiness and dependent arising. The other philosophical tenets, they certainly have their own final view, their own ultimate view that was based on the teachings from the Buddha. But that is the view of these other tenets is not the final view according to the Buddha. It's the final view according to their tenet, but not the ultimate view or the final view, because it's only the Prasangika's view which is the unmistaken view, and therefore the true intent of the Buddha. So whilst the other philosophical schools have their own final view, that is mistaken, and is therefore not the final view of the Buddha. So for example, the Chittamatrans, the mind-only school, so they believe that phenomena are truly existent. And why do they say that phenomena are truly existent? Because they say phenomena arise independent on causes and conditions. Therefore they exist, and they exist truly. So the Chittamatrans, their final view, asserts true existence. And their reason is that because phenomena are dependent on causes, arise dependent on causes and conditions, they must exist and exist truly. In the Svatvantika though, their final view, the Madhyamika Svatvantika, their final view is a little different. So they will also say that Chittamatrans are wrong, but what they present as the final view is that all phenomena are empty of true existence, but are inherently existent. So the Chittamatrans say phenomena are truly existent. Svatvantika say that's mistaken, they are not truly existent, but they are inherently existent. And the difference being, phenomena do not exist by way of their own nature, so therefore they are not truly existent, but they are imputed by mind. Therefore they are inherently existent. So they assert that phenomena are inherently existent because they can be imputed by mind, or they are imputed by mind. Then the Prasangikas say, no, you're both wrong. You're getting closer, but you're not there yet. Prasangikas say, true existence, inherent existence, same thing. No phenomenon exists truly or inherently. But phenomena are merely imputed by mind, but that doesn't mean they are inherently existent. And that is where the difference is with the Svatvantika. So both the Svatvantika and the Prasangika, these two sub-schools of the middle way school, they say the phenomena do not exist truly. And they both say phenomena are imputed by mind. But then the Svatvantika, they say because phenomena are imputed by mind, they exist inherently. And Prasangika say they do not exist inherently, although they are imputed by mind. And that is the final view of the Buddha, the Buddha's intent, the ultimate view of the Prasangika, that no phenomenon exists truly or inherently, but phenomena exist as mere imputations by mind.
Lama says Jerem Chigi, Dongi, Tawiki, Jeva, Ba, Tuasam Gomsum, Jeva, Samdan, then Lama Umabalia, Kantishu, Yamna Chigurwada, Chisa Lama Umabalia, Jizun Jembe, she Sigores, and then Jizun Jembe, she Sigores, Lama Umabadilla, Chisa Jerem Chigi, Lama Umabalia, Lama Umabigi, Jizun Jembe, La Shu, and Jizun Jembe Adi, because Lama Umabigi. Jizun Jembeya da Jerim Chini Marabara le Gegu Nashin Jeju Duxin and then Anzuki, Tavi Namsha Qualia Jango Regere. Jerim Chigi, Lama Umapa says Yoruba, Jeza, Jerim Chigi, and Tavi Namsha Lobsang Dorje, Lama Umapalia, Sugur, Wada, Kanakanechi, Kaneski Tigurwa. On that Lama Umaba de Jizun Jembeya, she Sigore, Jizun Jembeya, one of the Kame, and me too, and I think Kame and Gore.
Die Su Jetsin Champion Yang Danchik.
Lama Umaba.
공단 직발에.
라모 직발이면 라모마버기 지준제배 시시고래.
네.
시시고래. 까메 나야래 고래. 제사 라모마버기 지준제배야야 휴고래. 휴네 지준제배양게 라모마발나 라모마버기 아니 마 제름 치료 숨고래 제래. 제사 교환하지 기경에게 나지. 라모마버기 지준제배야다 아니 제름 바갈야 쭉 기경을 나신 제셔도 스칼로 나지. 아니 지준 제름 치기 따위 남자 토려야 두스진의 제바제바를 인송을.
So when Lama Tsongkhapa was training in the cultivation of the middle way view, he was doing so in reliance on a teacher called Lama Umapa, with Uma being the middle way, and Umapa means practitioner of the middle way. So this was the name of Je Rinpoche's teacher. And Lama Umapa was guiding Je Rinpoche in how to meditate on emptiness. And Lama Umapa, he had direct visions of Manjushri, and Manjushri would tell Lama Umapa how Lama Umapa must train and guide Je Rinpoche. So Lama Umapa was acting as, you could say, as the translator between Manjushri and Lama Tsongkhapa. And this was the way that Lama Tsongkhapa trained in the correct view.
상주주면도 공부 타투 우메 따와디 야고 하고 마투바레스 지산디니 인자 제름 첼야 제름 지간 즉 지순제매야라 소와답도시도 아니 니 제라 지순제매양 제름 주호로야 지순제매야 시시바레스 시바레스 데네 시네 아니 지순제매야라 제름 지게 다이에 남샤고 바기 스티든 시도 아니 안 지순제매양의 제름 첼라 가르송바레라나 결혼 다이에 남샤 냠는 타투도 공부니야라 소놈 싸우고 도스니라 소놈 싸우고 도스 제가 소놈 마사바디 니 가고니라 소놈 싸우고 대인자 결혼 참 공자로 그랬으네 되네야 아니 지게 두스카나제 되네 제름제 이네야 아니 지금 삼적고 공자같이 되네 만리다 아니 지게 라숨주송 동화샤백이 도는데 동화 라숨주송 여러 동샤 차 망보지 되네지는 아니 냠네 고치게 네 사자망고 제제 언디체레다 대위 남샤디게 동이 따와 다르도바디 하 캠바 인세로 지산 베바 두메시데 발레망고 야레세로 디디세로.
So despite relying on Lama Umapa, who was in direct contact with Manjushri, Je Rinpoche was struggling to come to a correct understanding of the final view. Then Je Rinpoche himself had a direct vision of Manjushri. And Manjushri said to Lama Tsongkhapa, the reason you're not yet able to understand the subtle view, come to the subtle understanding of emptiness, is because you lack merit. You need to accumulate far more virtue. Without a sufficient virtue, without sufficient merit, you will not attain a realization of emptiness. So with this direct instruction from Manjushri, Lama Tsongkhapa went into retreat, where he made a vast number of mandala offerings and prostrations to the 35 Buddhas and other practices to accumulate huge stores of virtue in order to realize emptiness. And this is also what is meant in our second line, where Je Rinpoche refers to how we diligently and continuously studied, or here we could maybe say trained. The word I've translated as studied is literally followed. So, but we can understand it here as he intentionally engaged in the accumulation of virtue so as to realize emptiness.
남자 타도대 야고 하고 봐야 안 지게 제바 지구기 제바 짱짱 제대바 점기 도투야 하고 저기 서로 지산 디니 념도 지금 선음 사야돼 지 주름 소야래 안 지 집이 냠len지야 안 맞으게 니티고샤야 돈달야 안 지 차체야당 건조야 최부부야당 디니 지 선음 유초디 파스 직사 디니가 검접 디니 안지야 선음 유소사 검접도 시네 니가 념도 로이 당한데 잘 마서나 쇼니가 놈도 여봐나 남는 포르투구레스 쇼가 찍디하고 쇼쇼네 찍보디 차르교지나 포르투구 말에 되네자 나 저기다 초들이야 선남이 초라 이시기 초시로 돈이긴 대위 남자 삼당 고미야디 손 이시기 초시고 다 되네게 사상 제제 아니 지게 진바 추주 세배 전이 돈에 되냐면 제디 선남이 초시고 돈이 남자 고미야기디 이시기 초시디 초니가다 선남이가 냠냠냠냠 로고 있어라 되네 로바나 냠냠 제바이나 아니 돈이 남자데 또토야 래 용기 마도셰 지게 현다 게조 소사 현다다 지게 개와가야 마두바체 다 돈이 짱짱다디 또 무슨 돈이 짱짱 삼당되나 또 하고라 지 또 도매서와 다가jel래.
So what we should come to understand from this is that in order to gain realization of emptiness, one has to meditate on emptiness. But if one solely meditates on emptiness, one will not realize emptiness. One has to also accumulate merit. And this is because one needs to accumulate the two accumulations, the accumulation of merit as well as accumulation of wisdom. So when one is engaging in the meditation on reality, on the meditation on how phenomena exist, when one's meditating on emptiness, one is accumulating the accumulation of wisdom. But in order to attain the actual realization of emptiness, one also needs the accumulation of merit so as to power those meditations. And therefore, when one is not meditating on emptiness, one needs to engage in accumulation of merit, such as making prostrations, practicing generosity, engaging in purification practices, etc. There are a vast array of varying methods to accumulate merit. So in brief, these two need to be done together, both meditating on emptiness as well as accumulation of merit.
제름치에 가르친 거라서는 지상 제름치게 롭장 제도에 갑라 안 퇴삼 검삼 제도에 갑라 흉은 찍리야 안 찍다 전에 텔야 지게 어다 지기도 선배기 지게 이체다 되바 침바지 맞아바지 안 텔야 케비 흉 안에 지게 자흉 개백이 흉날 마 공부되시게 되니 흉을 봐 배주 침비권에 심주체 제바체 되니 소사 되니 소남사 소사체 안도스네 안냠는 제바 인식으로 하다 단다라.
So the meaning in brief of this verse then is that Geshe made extensive efforts, and he made these efforts in both receiving teachings, reflecting and meditating on them, and not just receiving one teaching or reading one text and then accepting it, but rather receiving many teachings and reading many texts so as to come to a correct understanding. And to aid this arrival at a correct understanding, he didn't just study and reflect, he also engaged in the accumulation of merit through prostrations, mandala offerings and the like.
가르제샤 하고가 제고 그래서 디도토 하고가 제고 그래서 세상다 데니기 하고가 제발라 흉직직이 따르 될야 로데시 되어야 말해서 지난 흉망보 나리파 지게 퇴섬제다 안데 지게 양내 양도 안 퇴고에 계치 뭐가래서 베네 우마 탄주비 흉 랑기비 흉 아니 직대네 따와나 오랑기비 흉나 디송샤 탄주비 흉나 디송샤 선제비 흉나 디송샤 안디 김산 가래셔 디금 김산 가도 친 아니 야네 야도 뜻지야 배주 순리 침비고 거네 배주제 고레스 안다 데니기 디나데도 치 우마 탄주비 흉나 송샤게다 라신게 대외 남자 타독디 안 땡젠 저와죠 가데레세 델리아 심주시 제바제 고레스 디네인자 안 델레 냠도 초사 집자제 고레스 근데 초사 권절이야 냠로제야다 아니야 탈이야 권절이야 처법이 아니 소와데 나라나 라말이야 소와데야다 아니 지게야 자체 지게 차체야다 만데푸야다 등은 저게 다데 디버샤야가 돈달라 님보 도슈고네 다 디버샤도 자야 나도 chen 소사 디자 지기 냠도도 chen 제바 제고레스 데니기 제바 chen 안 제바 있나 안 마저 안 지기 상이 좀 내디 공부 타도디 니도레서 로장 제한한테 지고레 님망 아이네 데니 제바 인수고로 와당해 데니 지 제바 인 경험이나 데니 제고레서지 당하는야 롭도는 마서나 안 디는 거로
The advice then from Geshe Thubten to us in this verse is that in order to realize the final view, the ultimate view, one has to use analysis and investigation. And the way, though, to develop one's skill of analysis is twofold. On the one side, one has to receive a vast array of teachings and texts, so that one can receive a vast array of teachings and read many texts, so one can use that as a basis for one's analysis and investigation, to aid one's deeper and deeper investigation. And one shouldn't limit oneself to the presentation just of one view. One needs to understand the varying tenets that the Buddha taught, and understand them in the sense of coming to see whether the views, say, of the Chittamatrans are correct, or if the views of the Chittamatrans are mistaken, why so? And one needs to come to realize this for oneself. Likewise with the Svatantika, one needs to come to understand the view and to see if the view is mistaken as it is said to be or not. One needs to see this for oneself. So this whole process is about developing one's wisdom, one's accumulation of wisdom, sharpening one's reasoning. And in conjunction with this then, one needs to, in conjunction with this, which is the accumulation of wisdom, one also needs to engage in the accumulation of merit. So this is very broad. It would include requesting supplications to one's Lama, making, with the four opponent powers, engaging in confession practice, accumulating virtue through prostrations or offerings and the like. And with these two together, the accumulation of merit, powering the accumulation of wisdom, one will come to realize the final view. So this is how Lama Tsongkhapa himself trained. And he trained in that way so as to realize the final goal, and he followed the example of all the great masters before him, and he set this as an example for his later students to follow as well.
Darwada Denis, the Jerem Chigi, the name the Labjana in Zada, Manzo Dine Labjana songs and big that chicken to some changa to Carcheres and the Darwada Bene Chigi. This is Shabana Jang, the Tabachim, Yamle Chabala, Kuno Janju Simki Simbachu, which is a dinner to tell some come some Chicchulia, Jedine, or Dang is Simjan Maomba, and the Simjangi, Dunga Seada, Shan Simjagi, Digi Chidu in Sembeke. That is a Shan Simjangi, Dunga Seada, Digi Karese was in a Kala Chibu, Dulu Chibu, Digi to Tuyama, Dika say to Yamar, so Karas Meva Sovas in Simjan Chasangi, Nyomo by the Meva Sova. Chesa Nyomo Meva Sovala, Zugi, Sanyu Jumlendi, and also Sumbana, and also in a Consolia, Chignomo by Meva Ticum, Denis Chawore, Yamlen Denis Chawores, Ma, Sunchen, Sembujua, Tanjuji, Com Japjuji, Nyomo Meva Sova. Chesa Denisa. Simja Tamji Dungar said, Nyomo Sabona Jabading Hima, Meva Sugins, this Bala, Nangara Shingudu, Chesa, Dinzang Shingudu Sambedi, Nilobjon Chedi, Simjan Tamjeli, Digi Chudung, Lobja Chigus and some Dajixra, some Dajang of Lobjada. And the Simja Tamji Dondalia, me Lobjon Cheche. Ganishing the Chazan, the Wasum the Keba, touching by Kemba Kudu, touching by Kemba Jumbaina, this is on you Jumlendi, you choose some Banajang, Semjing, the Kamna Merba, and Samba Ganesh in the Honzo Pandekadisina, Dina Shinching and Zugolo, and Sanji Semjala Pandochi, Tugure, the Inzadana Sanji go Matu Tabminu, Sembi. 안은 저기 장수 셈 고미야데 지사 셈제 탐지게 된다라 상지고바 토바 지긴 셈비 삼다 장수 셈 삼다야라 지사다 상지고바 토바라 아니 냠낸 가르치고라서는 소수기 진비 냠낸 제바 수주 냠낸 수비 냠낸 어디 제와야 돼 계시모디 지긴 셈비 삼로디 엔딩 아주 삼다야데 디로와
Personal advice then for us that's contained in this verse is that whatever we engage in, we should make this a practice of the Mahayana Dharma, which means for something to be a practice of the Mahayana Dharma, we have to have generated the mind of bodhicitta. So if we generate the mind of bodhicitta, we've generated the wish that all sentient beings are the same as myself in wanting to experience only happiness and to be freed of suffering. And moreover, I take it as my responsibility to ensure that sentient beings are separated from suffering and do experience lasting happiness. And how to do so, how to actually bring lasting happiness to others, well, normal worldly activities will certainly bring some benefit to sentient beings, but that will not fulfill their innermost desire. Even if we were to give delicious, nutritious food to all beings in the world, that will not lead to them attaining lasting happiness. What sentient beings really need from us, what we really need to give to others, is to be able to train them in what the causes for happiness are and how to accomplish them, what the causes for suffering are and how to eliminate them. Because it's only through beings knowing that and then engaging in the cultivation by being skillfully guided that they can achieve a state of lasting happiness. But in order to be able to teach beings in accordance with their own individual personalities, we need to make great effort to arise as a Buddha ourselves. We need to eliminate all our own faults completely and develop all good qualities to their perfected level. It's only in that way that we will attain Buddhahood ourselves and be able to guide others in accordance with their personalities, just like the Buddha did. So just like the Buddha taught varying philosophical views in accordance with the varying predispositions of beings. For us to be such a skilled guide, we too need to perfect all our good qualities and eliminate all faults. And therefore, we need to strive to become a Buddha through receiving many teachings, reflecting on them, and meditating on them. So in this way, we generate mind of bodhicitta before engaging in any activities, such as receiving a teaching or meditating. And we should also include the reflection on emptiness, that no phenomenon exists inherently at all, that all phenomena are empty of true existence. And it's through training in this way, the understanding of the mind of bodhicitta and the understanding of emptiness and engaging in the cultivation of the six perfections, that we too will become the most skilled of guides and be able to have the most meaningful impacts on the lives of others through training them in a manner that's appropriate to their individual personalities.
Sammo nāla jāyā dhīrē, jīmbē ñamsi namsān chāsāng chēshā sikīgō mārē, rūwādā sammo nāla yā ngī gī tā chīngā sōsū gī gēwē chīka lōngchō rō kārī na xiān yā mī kyōgō tāng xiān yā rō chīgī yīn sībē xiān gī kāngā sēyā dā xiān gī dīgī chūgī tōndā rā pā tāng yīn sēmbē samdāyā tāng ān chīk sōsū gī yā sōsū gī sūnam sāyā dā gōnchō lī yā pūy gī yīn sēmbē gī samdāyā dī sammo nāla dī jāyā rē dā gāchā jīmbē ñamne sīdū namsāng lamsa jesha jisigo marwa je samno nalya ji ngi da longju tone shanliya pembe juya da gonjo le chebo puya da chasan gang tu jigin sembe samlo da sosugi xiyuan da sosugi lugi ani tone shanliya pembe jawa kaze tutu de jugin sembe ge ane denige samdu chene sammo de dine che kitina di jigin sembe sammo de yana da de da je jimbe nyamnen che se de samno da ya re samlo de ane jeda dine ta ne gedi ne otati di ta de gar le go sna zo sena chung ju go sena a ta ra wo shan da te me sena de chung ju go sena yu wang ge nga zo le nyoma ba ma wo chu ji go ta ngal gu du ne sho sa re san ji ngal gu du san ne jena zan le ra ha ge ma wo thu shi go ro de sena de chi go jesa dine ge to ye sa ba 소수기 되는 지인 선배다 소수기 되는 수능 샷을 40에 개화디네 개화디 수인의 디 대부 디기디 쇼도 심전 탐절의 용어 제기 심전의 제기 선배기 대디용 쇼 선배 몰람데 디네 삼다이디 삼모도 시안에 양도 다이디 진비 냠는시고 진비 냠는시고 다야 추진미 냠는시도 네 류마 유스미고네 샬라 네버 싸우기는 지금에 선배기 삼모도 양도 했던 땅고 거다 디니게 삼모디 진짜 디니게 삼다이디 안쪽에 추진 냠는시고 다 세배 냠는시야디 현기 네바다 강아 가르치면은 하세 맞추바체 바세 링자바체 파르야 콩도 괜렌 마자바체 되토바치 인생비 쇠토바치 인생비 삼다이디 두스네 야네 삼당는 다와이나 당아저 남상 거도들이야 미지기 요라시나 남상 서보금 투마르와 남상 파래 지라 쇼고로와 지상 아주 녀레네 소소 강변나라 되되되 갑로자 마미디니 중알에 요라시선 딜이야 란룩 메다 선비게다 딜이야 인지 공기인다 선비게 서보 공기인 선비 삼로데 야도 두스나베네 디니고 공시로 태제네 아니 강아 태연데 남상 서보 공투버 중고로와 어디디 서보 공야다 다 준비좀해디네 지바래 다 야동이디 냠네 지기나 선비 야네 지기 선비 삼로디야 야도 삼다와네 dimbaди shu chesha chugorwa andene andoshene jimba chujun zeba zunri nyamnen jetadi nga jugi nyamnen sidu samno nale yane taedi da gomri jedi reda di sigorwa jezanga jugi donda dire shada.
Just to talk about the perfections quickly. The first, that's of being of generosity. So here to emphasize the practice of the perfections refers to mental development, and this is the case for all of them. So generosity, the practice of generosity means developing a generous attitude. It means developing our way of thinking. So the practice of generosity, if one says, I am engaging in the practice of generosity, this is my primary practice, it doesn't mean that that person should be giving away all their possessions or offering their body. It means they would be training in their way of thinking, developing the way of thinking. That is the meaning of practice. So in the meditation, they would meditate on the suffering of beings, generating the wish to alleviate their suffering, and generating the sincere wish that whatever they have, whatever they own, whatever material resources they have, may I give these to others and thereby free them from suffering. Whatever skills and talents I have, may I share these with others so as to free others from suffering. Whatever material resources others need that I don't have, may I attain these so that I can give to others. Whatever skills and abilities that others need that I don't have, may I develop these so I can benefit others. And likewise with the triple gem. In the meditation, we meditate on making vast offerings to the three jewels. But this is done in meditation, and in this way, we're developing our way of thinking. And this is the meaning of practicing generosity. It's cultivating a generous attitude, a wish to utilize a wish to use whatever resources we have, whether material or our inner resources, to bring benefit into the lives of others. And the purpose of this training is it counteracts the afflicted mind of miserliness, this afflicted mind from which so many problems come, because it's under the influence of miserliness that we don't help others when we can. It's under the influence of miserliness that we keep things to ourselves, whether it's material resources or our own inner qualities, that we don't need to keep to ourselves, that we can share with others. So through training in generosity, repeatedly over a sustained period, we will accumulate vast stores of virtue. And this virtue too is what we should be offering to others, because what others need are the causes for happiness. So here, as well as part of the training of generosity, we even give the causes for happiness to others. And similarly with the second perfection, that of ethics, ethical conduct, this in brief is an attitude or mind that I will not bring harm to others. I will not allow myself to come under the influence of a mind that brings harm to others, and thereby I will ensure my physical behavior, my verbal behavior does not bring harm to others. So the practice of ethical conduct, this too refers to developing a way of thinking, developing habituation to being ethical, to not bring harm to others. And the third, that of patience, this is a mind that is undisturbed in the face of adversity, whether it's difficult encounters with others or our own inner turmoil. A mind that is patient is a mind that is undisturbed no matter what one encounters or what one experiences. So we know that this is a mind that is difficult to arise when we encounter an unwanted situation. And the reason that we have such limited success with patience in our daily life is because in meditation we have not yet gained sufficient habituation or familiarity with patience. If with patience, just like with ethics and generosity and any other mind of the Buddha Dharma, if we train in this repeatedly over a sustained period in meditation, then when we're not in meditation, when we encounter difficult circumstances, our habitual way of thinking will naturally arise, and our mind will stay undisturbed no matter what no matter what we encounter. And this then is the case with joyous perseverance too. It's through developing familiarity, habituation, that the mind of joyous perseverance will naturally arise within us and remain manifest for lengthy periods of time. So we'll finish here then for this weekend. Still a few minutes left, so if you have some questions, then please